Hi, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. I'm Alexandra.
And I'm Sebastian. Today, we're going to talk about how to think and speak in English. This is a very important topic for many learners.
Absolutely. Many people ask me, how can I improve my English speaking skills? What do you think, Sebastian? What's the first step?
I think the first step is to practice regularly. The more you practice, the more comfortable you become with speaking.
I agree completely. It's important to speak out loud. You can practice with friends or even talk to yourself.
Talking to yourself is a great idea. I sometimes describe what I am doing in English. For example, now I am making coffee. It helps me think in English.
That's a good tip. I do that too. I often talk to myself while cooking. I might say, now I'm chopping vegetables. It keeps my mind active in English.
Exactly. Another good practice is to think about your day. For instance, when I wake up, I think, I need to get ready for work. This way, I start my day in English.
That's a fantastic idea. You can even plan your day in English. For example, first, I will have breakfast. Then I will go for a walk.
That helps create a routine in English. Also, listening to English podcasts or watching movies can help you think in English. You hear how native speakers use the language.
Yes. I like watching movies with subtitles. First, I watch without subtitles to focus on the sound. Then, I watch with English subtitles to catch new words.
That's smart. I do the same. I also write down new words and phrases. This way, I can remember them better.
Great idea. Using new vocabulary in sentences is important too. You can create flashcards with new words and practice them.
Flashcards are very useful. I also like to categorize words. For example, I group words related to food, travel, and emotions. This helps me remember them.
That's a great method. Another way to practice is to join a language exchange group. You can meet people who want to learn your language and teach them English.
I've done that before. It's fun to meet new people and learn from each other. Plus, you can practice speaking in a relaxed environment.
Definitely. Speaking with others helps you gain confidence. And if you make mistakes, it's okay. That's part of learning.
Exactly. Everyone makes mistakes. I remember when I first started speaking English, I was afraid to make mistakes. But then I realized it's normal.
Yes. I had a funny experience once. I wanted to say, I'm hungry, but I accidentally said, I'm angry. Everyone laughed, but it was a good lesson.
That's a great story. It shows that mistakes can be funny and help us learn.
Right. Also, try to think in English instead of translating from your language. It helps you speak more naturally.
That's a great point. At first, it can be hard, but with practice, it becomes easier.
You can start by thinking about simple things. For example, what you see around you, or what you did during the day. You could say, I see a tree, or I had a great lunch today.
And don't forget to practice speaking about different topics. Talk about your hobbies, work, or favorite books.
That's true. The more topics you cover, the more vocabulary you'll learn. For instance, if you love traveling, you could describe your last trip in English.
Great idea. And if you can't think of anything to say, you can always describe what you see around you, like the weather or the people in a cafe.
Let's give our listeners a sample conversation. Imagine you are at a cafe, Sebastian.
But, Alexandra, excuse me, can I get a coffee, please?
Sure. What size would you like? Small, medium, or large?
I'll take a medium, please. And can I have it with milk?
Of course. Do you want any sugar with that?
No, thank you. Just the coffee with milk is perfect.
Great. That's a simple but useful conversation for practicing speaking in English.
Exactly. And remember to practice both asking questions and answering them.
Yes. Also, practicing common phrases helps a lot. For example, instead of saying, I do not understand, you can say, I don't get it.
That's a good one. It sounds more natural.
Another technique is to read aloud. When you read in English, try to say the words out loud. This helps with pronunciation and fluency.
Great tip. You can read anything. Books, articles, or even your favorite songs.
Exactly. I like reading children's books too. They often use simple language and are fun to read.
Good idea. And before we finish, let's share one last tip. I think reading in English is also very helpful.
Yes. Reading books, articles, or even social media posts in English can improve your understanding of the language.
And don't forget to use language apps. They often have fun exercises that can improve your vocabulary and grammar.
That's true. Apps like Duolingo or Babbel make learning interactive and enjoyable.
Let's take a moment to share a few exercises that our listeners can do at home.
Great idea. One exercise is to keep a daily journal in English. Write a few sentences about your day, your thoughts, or your feelings. This helps you practice writing and thinking in English.
And if you're comfortable, read your journal entries out loud. This combines writing and speaking practice.
Another fun exercise is to narrate your activities throughout the day. For example, when you go grocery shopping, say, "Now I'm looking at fruits. I want to buy apples and bananas."
That's a fun way to practice. It helps you connect everyday activities with English.
Also, try to find a language buddy. This person can be a friend or someone you meet online. Set a regular time to chat in English.
Absolutely. Having a conversation partner can greatly improve your speaking skills. You can discuss different topics each time.
And don't forget to ask open-ended questions when you talk. For example, instead of asking, "Did you like the movie?" you can ask, "What did you like about the movie?" This encourages longer conversations.
That's a great suggestion. Open-ended questions really help to keep the conversation flowing.
Let's answer a couple of questions from our listeners. Here's one. How do I remember new vocabulary better?
That's a great question. One method is to use the words in sentences. You can write a short story using new vocabulary.
Yes. You can also practice speaking with someone and use the new words in conversation.
Another question, how can I improve my pronunciation?
Listening to native speakers and repeating what they say is very effective. You can mimic their pronunciation and intonation.
And don't hesitate to record yourself. Listening to your recordings can help you notice areas for improvement.
Also, consider using pronunciation apps. They can give you instant feedback on your pronunciation.
That's true. And remember, practice makes perfect. The more you practice, the better you will get.
Absolutely. So, to sum up, practice regularly, listen, speak out loud, think in English, read, and don't be afraid of making mistakes.
Right. Consistency is key. Even if it's just a few minutes a day, it adds up.
And if you ever feel stuck, remember that learning a language is a journey. Celebrate small victories, like having a short conversation or understanding a new song in English.
That's a great reminder. Progress takes time, but every little step counts.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope you found these tips helpful.
And remember, learning a language opens up new opportunities. It connects you with people and cultures around the world.
See you next time.
Keep practicing your English.